Good evening, and welcome to the Thursday, February 6, 2025, second public hearing regarding HB 581. This is a public hearing for us to hear from the public, but we'll start off with the presentation from our staff.
Good evening, everyone. I am Lamadise Holmes, Controller in the Division of Finance. This is Public Hearing 2 on House Bill 581. So what is Georgia House Bill 581? The bill was created in response to concerns from the Georgia legislature about increasing property values and property taxes. The floating homestead exemption's goal is to control assessments of properties by freezing property values. The property tax reform bill was signed into law on April 18, 2024, and was voted on by taxpayers on November 5th. The bill provides relief and clarity to taxpayers by offering the following: a statewide floating exemption, an optional sales tax to further offset property taxes, and property tax reforms. The bill does not eliminate existing property exemptions that some counties already have. These are some frequently asked questions. Does it affect a homeowner's existing homestead or similar exemptions? No. Georgia House Bill 581 does not override existing homestead exemptions for any jurisdiction, but it may override existing floating, base year, and frozen exemptions if the House Bill 581 exemption provides a greater benefit to the taxpayer. What happens if the home is improved or is destroyed? Substantial changes to the property are considered when assessing the property. Any substantial change will increase or decrease the adjusted base year value of the home. Can we opt in or out at a later date? There is no future opportunity for the local government to opt in or rejoin House Bill 581 exemption. However, other local governments may still obtain a similar homestead exemption in a traditional manner of having their local legislatures create their own exemption. Can the floating homestead exemption be transferred to a new owner of the home? No, the homestead exemption is not portable or transferable. It is tied both to the property owner and the home. However, in the case of a surviving spouse who was not on the deed at the time of the spouse's death, said surviving spouse may continue the homestead exemption in the same manner as the deceased spouse, provided that the surviving spouse is otherwise eligible for the homestead exemption. Does Chatham County already have a floating exemption? Yes. The largest exemption in Chatham County is called the Stevens Day Homestead Exemption, named after area politicians Ron Stevens and Burke Day, who sponsored the law in the state legislature in 1998. The Stevens Day bill allows homeowners to freeze property taxes based upon their purchase price, but only for their primary residence. It was proposed to prevent homeowners from being taxed out of their homes when the property values went up. The legislation saved many local residents hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year. Their legislation became the framework for other counties and eventually this statewide House Bill 581 legislation. The Stevens Day exemption freezes your home value to the base year value, providing stability. However, it allows gradual increases in home value based on inflation for the school district and the city of Savannah taxes. This exemption protects homeowners from sudden and rapid increases in property taxes, promoting affordability. Stevens Day has been litigated and amended throughout its 25 years of existence and is considered the best homestead exemption in the state of Georgia. By comparison, there are only a few differences between House Bill 581 and Stevens Day. House Bill 581 covers properties that are larger than 5 acres. Base values for both frameworks increased by a rate of inflation. Stevens Day started out using inflation rates and switched to a CPI calculation. House Bill 581 is expected to use a similar CPI calculation, but will include information from an urban area. House Bill 581 provides a statewide exemption, whereas Stevens Day is just for Chatham County residents only. House Bill 581 allows local jurisdictions to opt out. Cities and counties can use a sales tax option approved through a local referendum. As we look at the Consumer Price Index comparison for CPI and CPI-U that is being recommended by the state, there is very little difference for the last 10 years of historical data. On this slide, we show the comparison of annual taxes if we use the last 10 years and duplicate the pattern for the next 10 years. For a current homeowner, the first year under House Bill 581 uses tax year 2024 to establish the base year. Here, the House Bill 581 calculation doesn't benefit a current homeowner. And over a 10-year period, they would end up paying an additional $9,574. This slide uses the same CPI information for someone that buys a home this year. For the first couple of years, the annual taxes are the same, but could favor the Stevens Day calculation moving forward. The pros for opting in are not the same in Chatham County as most other counties because we have had the same local legislation for the last 25 years. The cons for opting in are based upon uncertainties. Opting in will require an enormous amount of time, additional staff, and work for county staff to prepare the calculations that could complicate the exemption process. This, combined with the uncertainties of future state amendments designed to benefit taxpayers in other counties, doesn't provide a stable environment. Our local legislators can amend the Stevens Day bill when needed, as they have in the past, to benefit the residents of Chatham County. We believe this is why every municipality in Chatham County is choosing to opt out of House Bill 581. So this concludes the presentation, our second presentation on House Bill 581. We will have our third public hearing on February 10th at 6 p.m. The vote on this resolution is scheduled to take place on February 19th.
Thank you very much. This is a public hearing, and what that means is we're here to hear from the public. So if anyone would like to speak, you may speak now. Please go to that microphone. And you will have 3 minutes to speak. Please give your name.
My name is Matthew Craps, spelled C-R-A-P-S-E, if you need to put it in any type of log. I'm a Savannaian of almost 68 years. I've been with the homestead exemption from the very beginning of it, because they said it's been around for 25 years. I thought it had been longer than that, actually, because I know it's been around. Or is the city of Savannah at this point in time or looking to opt out? Is that the plan? Or I'm not really sure from what I heard the last little bit of it, if that's the intention or if it's depending on the vote.
We can only speak for the school board.
For the school board?
Yeah, this is a school board meeting.
Oh, okay. Just for this Eli Whitney School?
No, no.
Oh, for the overall school board.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I guess at this point, unless you can give me more information. You know, from what I can see, when I was reading right there at the end, it was saying that it was more in our best interest to keep the homestead exemption we have than to move forward with something different. Am I correct on that, or can anyone, confirm that or not?
Think, based
Yes.
on our early thinking, we think that we know what we have through Stevens Day.
Right.
I think the other exemption we're not so sure about.
So is the public going to vote on this on the date that they talked about? Is that what's going to happen, or how's that going to
Public
work?
actually cast their votes in November across the state of Georgia.
We did?
You did,
Okay,
yes.
all
You
right.
were like me. You didn't know you did either. We did, and overwhelmingly, the voters of Georgia said that they supported House Bill 581, but I'm not sure everybody really knew what that meant.
Right.
And in some counties, such as ours, we already have Stevens Day. So it's already been voted on by the public. We have to decide whether we're going to opt into the new exemption or just continue with our Stevens Day
All right,
exemption.
when you say we have to decide who's going to make the,
School board.
The school board.
And each municipality.
okay.
That
So-
every municipality in our county
So our
has to also.
representatives are going to be representing us in that regard. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
This is an opportunity for the public to share with us what they think is best for them.
Well, from what I can see, it looks like our original Stevens Day is, but that's just my opinion at this point. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you for
so
sharing your
much.
opinion. Yes, that's what we wanted to hear.
Would anyone else like to speak?
Rose Metz. So what you're saying is that
Your name, please?
Rose Metz.
Okay.
So what you're saying is that the Stevens Day is one thing and this other bill is another thing. I think a lot of people who voted for it thought it was going to be an extension of the Stevens Day. So it's different.
Yes.
A little bit different.
All right. So Stevens Day we already have, is what you're
Correct.
saying. And this would supersede that, is what also what you're saying. And y'all don't want it. Is that what you're saying?
We're saying we know what Stevens Day, we know the benefits of Stevens Day because it's been in place for a long time and people have reaped the benefits of that. We're saying we're not so sure that the same benefit would be achieved through House Bill 581.
And those calculations you did were based on what you saw with those two?
It's what we think would happen, but we can't say for sure because we don't know.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, would anyone else like to speak? All right. Thank you very much. This concludes public hearing number 2. We're adjourned.